This video is sponsored by ExpressVPN. Happy Halloween time. Welcome to this channel. Just in case you're new here, my name is Echo. I am an artist. As of late, all of my digital artwork has been done via my iPad and a program called Procreate. It's very, very popular. Hooray for the Apple Pencil. So I figured today I would go ahead, jump on here, and tell you my favorite Procreate brushes, both free and paid. But if I'm gonna be completely honest, I've only ever actually paid for one set of brushes. So worth it though. All of the brushes that I'm going to talk about today are listed in the description, so as long as those links are active, you should be able to download those brushes or purchase the pack if you so desire. First, let's have a quick how to get more new brushes into my technology box lesson. So when you find or purchase brush packs online, you will want to save them somewhere that you can access through Procreate. I just save them to files. And then when in Procreate, you're going to click the brush icon, the little plus in the corner, and then a little menu will pop up and you'll just click import. And then from there you can just browse for the brush pack and brushes. So when you are in your brush library, you're probably going to want to organize your imported brushes. So on the left hand side of the brush menu, if you swipe down, a plus will appear and you're just going to want to click that, and that'll give you another brush folder. So you can kind of organize this stuff if you want. I highly recommend it because you may end up with a lot of brushes by the end of this video. So the majority of the brushes that I'm going to show you today actually come from a master list, which will be posted in the description, of just free brushes of every type you could possibly imagine. For me, when it comes to art and line art, I will find one or two brushes that I absolutely love and I'll just get really, really good with those. But one thing I can never get enough of are pattern brushes. Are you bad at drawing backgrounds? Why improve when you could just drop a pattern in there? Boom, instant background. Does your art look very dull and needs some pizzazz? Throw a pattern on there. What's that? You need something to look fancy and Victorian? How about some lace? Block style shading got you down? Boom, screen tones. I love pattern brushes so much. There's just so much possibility with them, and they just kind of add like a fun, playful texture to your artwork, which I enjoy, and eventually I will probably get tired of. So I actually have an artist friend group here in Phoenix, so some of these brushes are actually just complete mystery brushes to me, because we get together and have artist parties and swap brushes, because community and stealing, technically sharing, but still. Pay for your brushes. Do as I say, not as I do. The first brush that I want to recommend is called Daisy Chain by echoisweird illustration. I could be saying that so wrong. This one isn't quite a pattern brush, it's more like a chain brush, because it's not a repeating pattern. It is like an image string. It's a line of daisies. I really like this one because it's pressure sensitive, so it actually does taper a little bit. It's just a nice feature. Just a lot of fun. I like this one. The other flower brush I want to recommend is Roses 2. This is what I would describe as a pattern brush. When you use these kinds of brushes, it feels like you're almost revealing a pattern that was already there under the paper. So you don't really get defined edges and it doesn't necessarily look as brush-like, which is why I like them for backgrounds. Also, these are in no particular order. I'm just kind of going through my library and pointing out the ones that I really, really like. The next one I'm going to recommend is a pack called Marble, and it's 5 brushes of various marble type textures. I like marble because they can be made to be very subtle, and I like nature patterns. They're good. I feel like there's a lot that you could do with this brush. These brushes are very good. They make me think of like kitchen countertops. Next we have 2 packs. There is Lace Pattern and Illustration Pattern. Lace Pattern is a beautiful set of 16 lace brushes. Gorgeous. Be still my Halloween heart. It's beautiful. I love it. Lace looks pretty cool. It's also pretty, and some of it has flowers, and it's just very doily-esque, and I approve. Illustration Pattern is kind of similar. It's 21 brushes of just really intricate patterns. Maybe it's just because autumn is here and I'm in a very autumn mood, but I really like a lot of these patterns. There's leaves and mushrooms and all kinds of really like intricate things. There's a cute little forest pattern that's adorable. Oh, and cakes and ice cream. Cute. Cute! This next one I really like, but I have no idea what it's called because it's in Korean. One of the reasons that I want to recommend this pack is because it has kind of screen tone-esque patterns. I think screen tones were originally the thing that got me into these kind of patterns. I feel like I should just show an example of a screen tone. Give me a sec. Okay, I found one. This one's a little bigger. Alright. So if you look here, do you see how in the background behind this character there's all these little dots? These are screen tone dots. Same thing up here, all of these gray areas are just a bunch of teeny little black and white dots. So there's no gray printed on this page, it's all just black, but these are all just a bunch of black tiny little dots kind of spread out so it looks gray. Back in the day when manga and art and stuff were done by hand, artists would get these sheets called screen tones and they were printed dots like that, and then you would cut them out and attach them to your artwork, and those dots are what you would use to create grayscale in your artwork. If you've ever tried to photocopy like a photo in black and white, the grays kind of tend to blow out. But if you can simulate gray solid blocks with screen tones, for example, the printers won't blow that out because it's just black and white. Screen tones are essentially a way to simulate gray. Also, this book is missing like the first half of its pages because it's part of an art project, so don't have a weeb heart attack. Anyway, back to the brushes. This pack has 11 brushes that could make some pretty decent screen tones. Next we have Stocking Stuffers 1 and 2. I like both of these. Stocking Stuffers 1 has a bunch of patterns that are kind of illustration texture. I don't really know how else to describe it. They've got some like swirls and almost fingerprinty looking textures, almost like zebra stripes. And then Stocking Stuffers 2 has just some generally useful brushes, things like pebble stones and paved sidewalks and bricks and burlap. Barky is also really cool. So all of the brushes that I've mentioned thus far are free to download and you can find them via the links in the description. Hopefully none of them are stolen. And now I want to talk to you about the one brush set that I have actually paid for and was so very worth it, and that is the manga brush set, because I'm a weeb. I believe I paid $5, it may have been $4. It has so many amazing brushes. I actually stumbled across this brush set because I was specifically looking for screen tone brushes, but it had so many incredible brushes that I just couldn't not buy it. All of the screen tones in this set are very A+ screen tones. The speedliners I almost never use apart from Speedliner A Mono sometimes, but the G pens, G Pen Round is my jam. I have been trying for so long to develop a brush that is this pen. For such a long time, I have been trying to figure out the settings that will make a brush incredibly fine-tipped, have the edges fade slightly so it doesn't look pixelated or sharp, while also not being transparent at all in the center. The brushes that I had been using previously, and the brushes that I had tried to customize to make them like this pen, were not this pen. This is my favorite Procreate brush of all time. Anyway, very much worth it. Highly recommend the manga brush set. The last one that I want to recommend is called Sparkle Up HMJ. Sparkles are a great way to make anime art look more detailed than it actually is. A friend of mine gave me this set. I probably should just hunt it down and pay for it because that's the right thing to do. But in the meantime, I will pay for it in exposure. Free advertising. Paying for a brush set with exposure. Yay! I promise I'm going to pay for it, I just have to hunt it down first. But you know, as far as Procreate brushes go, those are the ones that I actually use. But Echo, there's so much more time left in the video. What else could you possibly have to say? Well, obviously a word from our sponsor, ExpressVPN. I actually don't have the ExpressVPN script with me right now, so I'm just gonna do it in voiceover while I cut my hair with the shaving razor. Hi, Editing Echo here, the version of me that does not wear foundation. A VPN, or virtual private network, is a very important thing to have if you are the kind of person who uses the internet. Ever at all. Using the internet without a VPN is kind of like sending your mail without envelopes. Maybe you're sending a letter to your sister and you don't care if the mailman sees it, but maybe you're paying a bill and sending your bank information, something you don't necessarily want other people to see. But it also just makes your internet experience better. The classic example being Netflix. I love popping over onto Japan's Netflix and seeing what they've got that we don't get here in the US. like Shin-chan. My friends and I, who are all over the planet at this point, wanted to do our yearly Over the Garden Wall viewing together at the same time, but my friends in the UK didn't have access to it because UK Hulu doesn't have Over the Garden Wall. But luckily, with ExpressVPN, she can just tell the internet that she was in the US the whole time. And then we can all sit down together and watch Over the Garden Wall because it's October. Really cool. If you go to expressvpn.com/echo, you can find out how to get 3 months of ExpressVPN for free. Get a VPN. It's just the safer thing to do. Also, ExpressVPN is a thing that I pay for and love on my computer and on my phone. Thank you for making it all the way to the end of this video. You get 1,000 awesome points. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to watch me slowly cut my hair shorter and shorter until I have none left. And then I'll move into the forest and build a gingerbread house and lure children to their doom. But that is all I have for you today. I hope you have a beautiful day and I will see you later. Goodbye. Okay, we're done here. Goodbye. Peace out. I'm Batgirl?